man versus animal conflict embedded in the Indian culture, justified or opposed by the human activist or animal activist today. So to begin with, I would like to introduce that animal activists today are doing the right role, because there is no sport in which one power can overpower the other. So taking two parties, one the human and the other the animal, we cannot have any sport where we can harm the animals, and I think it's absolutely inhuman and it lacks empathy towards animals. And I think what the activists are doing today is necessary if we are looking forward for an healthy and sustainable environment for animals.
Okay, when you talk about the sport, it is Jallikattu, that Jallikattu festival which takes place in Tamil Nadu. So I elaborated that sport is regulated, and there are a set of rules in that sport where the animal cannot be harmed. If it is harmed, it will be disqualified. There are rules such as you cannot touch the horns, ears, or head of the bull. You can only touch the tusk. And so does I think that the festival should be allowed, and for other cultural purposes also. So I think the activists are overdoing it. That is what I feel.
What you're talking about is the 20th century. We're in the 21st century, and a lot of people do not follow those rules anymore. People hit the animals, they prod them with sticks, they beat them up, they tie them with chains, and I don't think that's okay. And when you're saying it's a festival is something that is celebrated by everyone. If you talk about Jallikattu, we see that Dalits are not allowed to celebrate Jallikattu. So I don't know how you can call that a festival.
um, Regardless of whatever social constraints are there with the festival or whatnot, we have to look at it practically. Calf breeding and bull breeding or animal breeding it's a capital intensive and time consuming venture or an activity. So causing any form of physical harm or emotional harm, if it would affect the value.
First of all, WHO is actually defining that an animal is in a good state of welfare when that animal is not under stress, or he is not feared of anything. He doesn't have any fear of anything. So if that is the case, do you think that bulls running and there are 100 men running behind that one bull doesn't make the bull fearful, or doesn't make the bull think, "Kyare, I'm stressed right now"?
Okay, to add on to that, the people in the animals in the wildlife are more endangered. They have to save themselves from other animals who are going to eat them up. So in this case, when the breeding happens, they are at safety. They get food, they get everything, at one place. They don't have to run for it. They are at safety.
When you're talking about breeding, such type of breeding is leading to breed aggression. So just let us not talk about Jallikattu. We will also focus on other traditions such as elephants are tied up in Kerala, stray dog killing in Kerala. Then even in Christian Medical College, monkey was been beaten and even a rod was put up in his genitals. Then the next thing happened in Hyderabad, Bangalore, where a dog was being thrown from a five-story building. Yesterday itself in Chembur, Mumbai, a dog was being thrown from a 3-story building, which led to his death. Where are we going? Where is our human? Where are we? Have we lost it?
I would like to draw light to this one issue which happened recently. A stray dog was seen going to a garbage dump yard, alright, and trying to find food. So this one man came and started shooing her away and started beating that female dog. So the female dog went and she hid somewhere, alright. After she saw that the man went away, she went back and she got the food, and she got it not for herself but for her children. What I want to try to say is that what are these animals doing to us? How are they harming us? Why are we being so cruel to these poor creatures who can't even raise an opinion or raise a voice for themselves?
And I would like to add a point is that maybe the main issue is not to decide who is to blame and what is wrong or what's right, and debating about ethics. We all can debate about ethics. Maybe the main issue is trying to spread education to these people. Why is it wrong? Why is it not right to do something? Is it, and maybe animal activism takes the effort away from education rather than, and it gives more towards the blaming, as per my personal opinion.
When we talk about education, which is not the debate, we see that education should be something that is tackled by our government and not by animal activists. So That's what the government has to do. Animal activists are doing their part by protecting the animals from any harm that the people are causing them.
I would like to reply on what you said earlier. A woman was beaten for feeding a dog. I cannot defend that as it was wrong, but basically they should not feed like stray dogs there itself. It encourages stray dogs to stay there, and they should help them by other means like taking them somewhere else, check them for rabies and other things like that.
And isn't feeding an option? Like, what do they eat then? If you want to put a rabies injection to them, then why not feeding? What is wrong in feeding them?
I would like to add by saying that if you see the number of deaths happen due to humans and due to the BMC in comparison to the animal bites or the dog bites, it is very less in number due to which the people have died due to dog bites. Coming to rabies, do you think that the municipal corporations or due to the local bodies have really taken that initiative to check the strays for rabies?
There were actually many of the programs which were held before, such as sterilization of dogs could have been a very better option rather than killing all the dogs, all the strays in Kerala. Killing is never an option. Like, could you really kill humans if they were more in number? Like, seriously.
Okay, so this is one aspect. What about the other aspect that the animal activists do? They concentrate only on a certain species which is famous and not on the ones that are not famous. Let's take an example of a panda and the Amazonian slug. So the panda was recovering from getting extinct. At the same time, there was a species of Amazonian slug which is going extinct. No one bothered to cover that up. Why? Why is it only the panda which is being covered? Because it's famous, or it's a well-known animal, or what is it?
Don't you think they're trying to grab the opportunity? Like, if you tell me about this incident, fine, there might be many others who are focusing on that. See, activists want their voice to be reached, and for that they need to pick on specific opportunities and specific cases which are going on. Say for Jallikattu, if they don't start now, they won't start ever. Like, this is the time when they have to voice it. Like, finally there has been a law, they have actually banned it finally. So now why wouldn't they come into the picture and actually do what they're supposed to do? Activists, they're supposed to do this.
See, India being a diverse country with lot of diverse religions, lot of diverse cultures, traditions, all of this is followed since ancient times. So now when you tell you want evolution on the spot, that won't happen. It'll take time. Evolution is a long process which takes time to happen. So the other thing is, like for example, we can take sati. We used to practice sati earlier, but now we don't. So it evolved. It takes time for anything to happen. So even the Jallikattu thing, it is an ancient culture. You cannot expect the culture to go away just like that. It will take time to evolve.
I would like to add to your point, not only to a culture, but whatever we are doing with the animals is because of survival. It's in nature, and the carnivores eat the herbivores in order for survival. It's a circle of life. It's our food chain. We have studied it. It's a proper natural phenomenon. So we as humans, majority of us, we tame animals or we can butcher animals for our own survival, or we have been doing for generations. So majority of the cases, we are not here to harm the animals. We are here for our own survival. Now, is that so wrong?
For your own survival, you will harm the animal. That's what you just said. So that is not done, right? We cannot go and kill a dog or maybe just go and tame a bull just because we want to survive and we want that, the farm to be plowed properly so that there's proper proper cultivation, and then we survive because of that food. No, that is not justified.
As we were talking about evolution, we are the generation which needs to be the change. And we are the ones who will take this forward, and we are the ones who can make this change possible. And I feel that all of us together are the reason why things can change and the other cultures which are there can change. So we are the change, and we really need to be the change.